Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, devotees. Please accept our humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Welcome to this morning's Srimad Bhagavatam class. It's from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 2, which is entitled The Cosmic Manifestation, Chapter 7, which is entitled Scheduled Incarnations with Specific Functions. And this morning we're doing text 15. We're very fortunate for the first time, I think, in a while, to have His Grace Radheshyam Prabhu. I didn't think he needs much introduction. He's known all around the world, practically, in this ISKCON society. Hare Krishna. Prabhu, please accept our humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Please unmute.
Yes, Prabhu. Yeah.
Okay. And I'll also make you co-host so you can put in the screen as you like.
Yes, Prabhu. So we will read the verse and then I'll show a PowerPoint after that.
Yeah. After this verse, I'll make you co-host and you can. Yeah.
Yes, Prabhu. Thank you, Prabhu. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
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 Vasudevaya.
Narayanam namaskritya naram chaiva narottamam devim saraswatim vyasam tato jayam mudiraye. Nashtaprayeshva bhadreshu nityam bhagavata sevaya. Bhagavatyuttamaśloke bhaktir bhavati naishtiki. Krishnaya vasudevaya devaki nandanaya cha. Nandagopakumaraya govindaya namo namaha. Welcome all of you for this Srimad Bhagavatam class this morning from ISKCON of Harrisburg. Thanks to Parikshit Prabhu and Grace Anasaya Mataji for offering me this opportunity to glorify Krishna this morning with all of you. Here is a very interesting and very important verse. 2nd Canto, 7th chapter, text number 15. antaḥ-sarasy pade gṛhīto.
antaḥ-sarasy pade gṛhīto.
grāheṇa yūtha-patir ambuja-hasta ārtaḥ.
grāheṇa yūtha-patir ambuja-hasta ārtaḥ.
āhedam ādi-puruṣākhila-loka-nātha.
āhedam ādi-puruṣākhila-loka-nātha.
tīrtha-śravaḥ śravaṇa-maṅgala-nāmadheya.
tīrtha-śravaḥ śravaṇa-maṅgala-nāmadheya.
antaḥ-sarasy pade gṛhīto.
antaḥ-sarasy pade gṛhīto.
grāheṇa yūtha-patir ambuja-hasta ārtaḥ.
grāheṇa yūtha-patir ambuja-hasta ārtaḥ.
āhedam ādi-puruṣākhila-loka-nātha.
āhedam ādi-puruṣākhila-loka-nātha.
tīrtha-śravaḥ śravaṇa-maṅgala-nāmadheya.
tīrtha-śravaḥ śravaṇa-maṅgala-nāmadheya.
So, Parikshit Prabhu, what do you do further? You recite, somebody recites it, or we go ahead?
Well, there's been a response, so I think you can go ahead with synonyms.
Yes, Prabhu. So, synonyms, antaḥ-sarasy, within the river. Uru-balena, by superior strength. Pade, leg. gṛhīto, being taken up. grāheṇa, by the crocodile. yūtha-patir, of the leader of the elephants. ambuja-hasta, with the lotus flower in the hand. āhedam, greatly aggrieved. addressed. āhedam, like this. ādi-puruṣā, the original enjoyer. Akhila-loka-nātha, the Lord of the universe. tīrtha-śravaḥ, as famous as a place of pilgrimage. śravaṇa-maṅgala, all good simply by hearing the name. Namadheya, whose holy name is worth chanting. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Sundaranatpu, can you read it, please?
Sure, Prabhu. The leader of the elephants, whose leg was attacked in a river, by a crocodile of superior strength, was much aggrieved. Taking a lotus flower in his trunk, he addressed the Lord, saying, O original enjoyer, Lord of the universe, O deliverer, as famous as a place of pilgrimage, all are purified simply by hearing your holy name, which is worthy to be chanted. Purport: the history of delivering the leader of the elephants, whose leg was attacked in the river by the superior strength of a crocodile, is described in the 8th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. Since the Lord is absolute knowledge, there is no difference between his holy name and the personality of Godhead. The leader of the elephants was much distressed when he was attacked by the crocodile. Although the elephant is always stronger than the crocodile, the latter is stronger than the elephant when it is in the water. And because the elephant was a great devotee of the Lord in his previous birth, he was able to chant the holy name of the Lord by dint of his past good deeds. Every living entity is always distressed in this material world because this place is such that at every step one has to meet with some kind of distress. But one who is supported by his past good deeds engages himself in the devotional service of the Lord, as confirmed in the Bhagavad Gita 7.16. Those who are supported by impious acts cannot be engaged in the devotional service of the Lord, even though they are distressed. This is also confirmed in the Bhagavad Gita 7.15. The personality of Godhead Hari appeared at once on the back of his eternal bearer Garuda and delivered the elephant. The elephant was conscious of his relation with the Supreme Lord. He addressed the Lord as ādi-purusha, or the original enjoyer. Both the Lord and the living beings are conscious and are therefore enjoyers. But the Lord is the original enjoyer because he is the creator of everything. In a family, both the father and his sons are undoubtedly enjoyers. But the father is the original enjoyer and the sons are subsequent enjoyers. A pure devotee knows well that everything in the universe is the property of the Lord and that a living entity can enjoy a thing as ordained by the Lord. A living being cannot even touch a thing which is not allotted to him. This idea of the original enjoyer is explained very nicely in the Ishopanishad. One who knows this difference between the Lord and himself never accepts anything without first offering it to the Lord. The elephant addressed the Lord as Akhila-loka-nātha, or the Lord of the universe, who is therefore the Lord of the elephant also. The elephant, being a pure devotee of the Lord, specifically deserved to be saved from the attack of the crocodile. And because it is a promise of the Lord that his devotee will never be vanquished, it was quite befitting that the elephant called upon the Lord to protect him. And the merciful Lord also at once responded. The Lord is the protector of everyone, but he is the first protector of one who acknowledges superiority of the Lord instead of being so falsely proud as to deny the superiority of the Lord or to claim to be equal to him. He is ever superior. A pure devotee of the Lord knows this difference between the Lord and himself. Therefore, a pure devotee is given first preference because of his full dependence. Where the person who denies the existence of the Lord and declares himself the Lord is called Asura, and as such is given protection by the strength of limited power subject to the sanction of the Lord. Since the Lord is superior to everyone, his perfection is also superior. No one can imagine it. The elephant addressed the Lord as tīrtha-śravaḥ, or as famous as a place of pilgrimage. People go to places of pilgrimage in order to be delivered from the reactions of unknown sinful acts. But one can be free from all sinful reactions simply by remembering his holy name. The Lord is therefore as good as the holy places of pilgrimage. One can be free from all sinful reactions after reaching a place of pilgrimage, but one can have the same benefit at home or at any place simply by chanting the holy name of the Lord. For a pure devotee, there is no need to go to the holy place of pilgrimage. He can be delivered from all sinful acts simply by remembering the Lord in earnestness. A pure devotee of the Lord never commits any sinful acts. But because the whole world is full of the sinful atmosphere, even a pure devotee may commit a sin unconsciously as a matter of course. One who commits sinful acts consciously cannot be worthy of being a devotee of the Lord. But a pure devotee who unconsciously does something sinful is certainly delivered by the Lord, because a pure devotee remembers the Lord always. The Lord's holy name is called śravaṇa-maṅgala. This means that one receives everything auspicious simply by hearing the holy name. Another place in Srimad Bhagavatam, his holy name is described as punya-śravana-kirtana. It's a pious act simply to chant and hear all about the Lord. The Lord descends to this earth and acts like others in connection with the activities of the world, just to create subject matters for hearing about Him. Otherwise, the Lord has nothing to do in this world, nor has He any obligation to do anything. He comes out of His own causeless mercy and acts as He desires. The Vedas and Puranas are full of descriptions of His different activities, so that people in general may naturally be eager to hear and read something about His activities. Generally, however, the modern fictions and novels of the world occupy a greater part of people's valuable time. Such literatures cannot do good to anyone. On the contrary, they agitate the young mind unnecessarily and increase the modes of passion and ignorance, leading to increasing bondage to the material conditions. The same aptitude for hearing and reading is better utilized in hearing and reading of the Lord's activities. This will give one all-around benefit. It is concluded, therefore, that the holy name of the Lord and topics in relation with Him are always worth hearing, and therefore is called here in this verse Namadeya, or one whose holy name is worth chanting.
Yeah, very, very beautiful verse and a very beautiful purport also, for Srila Prabhupada. So I made a PowerPoint. I'll just share the PowerPoint with you all. Just a minute. See it? Yeah. So Gajendra's cry shows the Lord's reciprocation to a devotee. When Gajendra cried, how the Lord took his surrender seriously and how he responded, we will learn today, we will see today. So, the leader of the elephants, whose leg was attacked in a river by the crocodile of superior strength, was much aggrieved. Taking a lotus flower in his trunk, addressed the Lord, saying, O original enjoyer, Lord of universe, O deliverer, as famous as a place of pilgrimage, all are purified simply by hearing your holy name, which is worthy to be chanted. So, just like the first line goes here, antaḥ-sarasy uru-balena pade gṛhīto. There is another verse in the Srimad Bhagavatam, in the 8th canto, we will read, Antaḥ-sarasy gṛhīta ārtho drishtva garutmati-harim kavupāta-chakram utshipya ambuja-garam giramaha krichran narayana kila guru bhagavan namaste. Narayana Kila Guru Bhagavan Namaste. That's one another prayer, very similar prayer. First line is resembling the same line. So antaḥ-sarasy uru-balena. Sarasy means the lake. In that lake where the elephant Gajendra, along with his family, friends and relatives, went for a kind of excursion. But a holiday excursion turned into a nightmare for him, because his leg was caught by a crocodile firmly. So antaḥ-sarasy uru-balena gṛhīta. Uru-balena means very strongly. His leg was caught. Gṛhīta means to capture. Ārtho means he became miserable by pain. Drishtva garutmati harim kavupāta chakram. He saw Lord Vishnu coming on the back of Garuda. Kavupāta chakram, he was wielding the disc in his hand. At the time, Gajendra saw that I am in a very precarious position. I am not able to offer any seva to the Lord, because I am not at home now. I am in the lake, and in the lake the situation is very terrible now. I am in a traumatic situation, and the Lord is coming eye to eye. He is giving darshan. If such a great exalted personality has come, any of you would want to serve, isn't it? But he was desperate. He was more concerned about how to serve the Lord. So immediately he picked up a lotus from that leg. Uchchipya sambujakaram giramaha krichran, says ambujakaram, with his trunk he picked up a lotus. Giramaha krichran. Although, he with his voice faltering in devotion and while offering the flower to the Lord. And Uchchipya sambujakaram giramaha krichran. Krichra means very painful. Even in that painful situation. Narayana Kila Guru Bhagavan Namaste. Oh Lord Narayana, the spiritual master of the whole universe, I offer my obeisances unto you. So when Lord Narayana saw this, he was so happy, so pleased. Why? Even in the midst of misery, adversity, that too a traumatic situation, even in that, this Gajendra did not, compromise on rendering devotional service. So, dear devotees, this is a great lesson and learning for all of us. Many of us feel that, if my life would be a little more better, I can render a little more devotional service. Or some people say that, Prabhu, let things get a little better and then I'll come back. First, let me sort out the financial situation at home. Prabhu, first let me sort out the little misunderstandings at home. Or Prabhu, little bit let me expand my business and stabilize myself in this world, and then I can do more devotion service. For now, anyway, the temple is not going to run away. Temple is going to be nearby only. I can always come back. People feel like that. So everybody has some lame excuses on why they cannot become serious in devotional service. So, but here we find Gajendra does not give any excuses. He is enthusiastic to offer archana for the Lord. This archana actually, taking a flower, and is one of the nine limbs of devotional service called archana. He is doing archana for the Lord, offering a lotus flower, even though his leg is being caught by a crocodile very firmly. So I was just thinking one day, if a dog is catching my feet and I have to take my bead bag and chant, I don't think I'll be able to chant. First, I'll want to get rid of the dog. Then I may go to the doctor and put some bandage and something, and then I may chant the holy name later. Who can think of the holy name when a dog is catching your feet? So Prabhupada says, yes, who can think of the Lord in adversity? One who is pious. Because Gajendra had done devotion service in the previous life, pure devotion service, that impelled him to call out the Lord's name. Of course, he forgot the name of the Lord, but he called the Lord as, O Lord of the universe, O spiritual master of the whole universe, Akhila-loka-nātha, he called. Like that, śravaṇa-maṅgala, tīrtha-śravaḥ, many names he used for glorifying the Lord. But when Lord came, when he saw him eye to eye, immediately the name came to his mind. Narayana, he called as soon as he saw him. All of you have experienced sometimes while meeting somebody after many years, you are scratching your head, hey, who is this? I have seen this person, I know this person, I have spoken before, but I don't remember his name. But then suddenly the name comes to your mind, isn't it? So in this way, he remembered the Lord's name and called out, Narayana Akila Guru Bhagavan Namaste. And the Lord quickly responded. And he cut off the neck of the crocodile first, so that the elephant can be relieved of his pain. And the elephant had initially prayed to Lord, save me from this crocodile. That was the initial prayer. But in the course of praying to the Lord, his prayers became refined and so pure that Gajendra altered his prayer. He told the Lord, sorry my Lord, earlier I told you to save me. Now don't save me now. At that time he said, Jijivishena-hamihamuyakyam antar-bahishcha-vritayo bhayonya ichchami kalena nayasya viplavas tasyatma-loka-varnasya moksham. He said, Jijivishe, na, he said, I don't want to live anymore in this elephant body. He said, why? Don't you want to be saved from the crocodile? He said, no, because this body is inside and outside full of ignorance. I don't want to live in this ignorant body. Instead, I want a body, ichchami kalena nayasya viplava. I want that body which will not be viplava by kala. Viplava means destruction, kala means time. I want that body which will not be destroyed by time factor. What is that body? Spiritual body. My dear Lord, take away this material body, give me a spiritual body. I will always be at your lotus feet. I will always keep watching you, serving you. And I don't want to have a material body which is troublesome body, which makes us forget you. I am not worried about the material body giving misery, but I am worried about the material body giving me forgetfulness of you. Because in this world everybody is miserable. I don't mind the misery, but misery is not as painful as forgetting you. So give me that body in which I can always remember you. Therefore, Lord Vishnu, when he cut off the neck of the crocodile, he gave Gajendra a spiritual body and took him back home, back to Godhead. How blessed elephant he is, just see. So that prayer attracted the Lord. One Acharya has given a comment. Why did Lord deliver the crocodile first and not Gajendra first? He says crocodile was catching the feet of a pure devotee, so he was delivered first. Acharya says that. So that means one who is holding on to great devotees, they will get very special mercy. Because they are putting themselves at the feet of the devotee and following the instructions of the devotee. Lord has a very special affection. Lord says that. Maye nirbadda hridaya sarvatra samadarshanaha vashe kurvanti mam bhaktya satriya satpatim yata. That's one verse where he says, how much I love my pure devotees. Like a husband is charmed by the chaste wife who faithfully serves him. Like that my pure devotees attract me, he says. And then he says, Bhaktair Bhakta Jana Priyaha, he says in the next verse. My pure devotees are very dear to me. But those who are serving my pure devotees, they are also very dear to me, he says. Bhaktair Bhakta Jana Priyaha. Those who are devotee of my devotee, they are very, very attractive to me, like that the Lord says. Sometimes we have experience of this. Sometimes some preaches and brings some newcomer and says, Prabhu, this newcomer is chanting 4 rounds. And actually we feel great affection for them because they are like children. They are just now coming in devotion service. We may have deep affection for the preacher who is in our custody and guidance. But if they bring a newcomer, we feel great affection for the newcomer also. So Lord also feels, here is somebody who is assisting my pure devotee. Then they also become very dear. So now let us go through the PPT now. Let us proceed ahead. See, this is a scene known to all of you. Elephant King Gajendra caught by crocodile in the lake. It was actually, when the elephant was walking, he was very mighty in the forest. He was nodding his head and walking ahead, and all the animals would fear in the forest. They would flee away seeing him. And he was not alone. He came with all his relatives and friends for the holiday trip. But then, although he is mighty in the forest, he became helpless in water. And this is the situation of all jivas in this world. You will see when one is mighty, one becomes very proud. One time I was traveling to some place in the flight. I met one old man. He was like 74, 75 years old. And the man asked me, looking at me, he said, what are you doing? He asked. I said, I am a monk in ISKCON. I said, then where are you living? And all he asked me. I said, then I gave my card to him and said, we have a temple in Pune. Would you like to come? He said, what are you talking? I have 4 sons and 2 daughters, and they all are all over the world. Somebody is in Australia, somebody is in Canada, somebody is in Germany, somebody is in US. And he said, I being their father, everybody depends on me. I have given them money, I have set up their business, and I have to go round and round the world to take care of my children. And therefore I have no time. I am not like a monk like you, that I can be sitting in the temple and doing japa. So you can do my japa also, he said. आप जैसे लोग हमारे लिए भी प्रार्थना कीजिए. People like you should pray for us also. He said, I have no time, he was telling. I said, anyway, keep the card with you. If you have time, you call me, I'll come. But then within a couple of days, I got a call from him and said, immediately you come, you please rush to this hospital, one very famous big hospital in Pune. He said, I asked her, how did you end up in the hospital? You were in an airport, I saw you. He said, I got a massive heart attack. He said, I'm admitted in the ICU now. And the doctor is checking everything, heart doctor, the cardiac specialist is coming. And they are saying that I may live or I may not live or I may have to undergo bypass. And there is some serious problem, blockage in the heart. So now I am able to speak, but sometimes I faint also, I don't know how long will I continue. Then I said, oh really, very sorry to hear this. He said, Swamiji, immediately come. He said, don't come alone, bring mala also. He said, bring japa mala also. But I said, I heard, you said you have no time. He said, now all my time is available, he said. Because now that my condition is so pathetic, you come. So this was exactly, Gajendra's situation was like this. He was very mighty on land, but helpless in water. This man was mighty in the air and going in the flight. Now helpless in that hospital now. So you will see, this body is very fragile. Anytime, any part of the body can collapse. Somebody has liver problem, somebody has kidney problem, somebody has heart problem, somebody has brain tumor, somebody gets cancer and so many complications. So no one should be proud of this body, material body. Ma kuru dhana jana yauvana garvam harati nimeshat kala sarvam. He says, Ma kuru dhana jana yauvana garvam. He's saying, one should not be proud of wealth, followers, or youth, he's saying. You will see, I heard an interesting saying. Everybody knows how much money they have in their banks, but nobody can say how much time they have in this body. That they don't know. Because you may know, I have crores of rupees in the bank, I have nothing to worry. Yes, you have a lot of money, but how long will you live to enjoy that money? Do you know that? That we can't say. So therefore, don't be proud of the wealth. Don't be proud of the followers. Don't be proud of the youth. Youth will not remain forever, it will go away. From childhood to youth, and childhood to boyhood, boyhood to youth, youth and old age, everything comes in this world. It's changing situation. So therefore, one should know what is permanent, hold on to that. And Krishna's lotus feet is permanent. Spiritual world is permanent. The Shastras are permanent. One should take shelter of things which are imperishable, eternal. Like that. So here Gajendra was not aware of those things. He was a devotee, but he has become covered over by the body of an elephant now. And therefore, he had become apparently proud and with all the relatives and aristocratic friends. And so the Gajendra represents aristocratic personality who has great influence over many people, that type of person. But he became helpless. He was very mighty on land, but helpless in the water, it is said. And then, so the material strength fails in karmic grip. That's the main point here. You see, Gajendra represents a jiva who is powerful, proud, but ultimately vulnerable. And the lake, Sarasy, that represents material world, which is pleasant but dangerous. Material world is pleasant but dangerous. One time we had gone to this Jagannath Puri for, I think, yatra, So, many of us may not know swimming. I'm also not familiar with swimming. So I didn't go to the ocean. But many devotees told, Prabhu, at least you can see the ocean from a distance. It's very beautiful. Come. Okay, we went in the evening to the ocean. And when we were sitting in the bank of the ocean, just chanting, some devotee said, Prabhu, why are you just sitting? You can just go and touch your feet to the waters in a very pleasant experience. You don't have to go inside to, bathe and all that. I said, okay. So we kept everything aside and went, and then just about little below the knee, after that water, we were standing in the water and just taking some water and putting on the face. Unexpectedly, suddenly, something eroded the sand below the feet. And then feet was going little inside. By the time I could resume, one big wave came and pat, it hit the face. And I was vertical and I became flat completely on the ground. Then by the time I put my hand and got up, another wave came and pat, hit second time. And I found somebody catching my both feet and dragging inside the water. That was nobody other than the waves only. Because the waves first come like this, and then they take your 2 feet and then drag you inside like this. They go behind. You've seen that? Like that they go behind. So it was going. And when I was going inside, I was struggling. I was suffocating, and there was sand inside the nose and mouth and eyes and everything. Water, salt water entered into the mouth. I was trying to get in. By the time I was 20, 30 feet inside the water, feet ahead from the seashore, I was shocked. How will I come out now? So I got up and waved my hands. And all other devotees were thinking I'm saying Haribol. They thought they're just Prabhuji is saying Haribol. And somebody else looked at my face and said that he doesn't seem to be saying Haribol. He looks like he's in trouble. Then 3, 4 devotees who are swimmers, they jumped into water and caught my hand, leg and brought me out. So why am I saying this? My initial experience of the ocean was very pleasant. It was very pleasant. It was tickling, so tick. The tickling is a very nice experience. You feel some kind of nice, joyful experience. And also sight is very good. Therefore, once when Prabhupada was walking with devotees, some devotee made a comment to Prabhupada, Swamiji, the ocean looks very beautiful, isn't it? Prabhupada said, yes, from a distance, he said. Not when you come very near. So, that is what he is saying here. See the word he is using, material world is pleasant but dangerous. So in the material world also, many things are thrilling. For example, you take any habit, for example, eating habit, you eat samosa, it's very delicious, very pleasant. But then after eating one, you want second one. Sometimes people make samosa so nice, isn't it? Crispy and nicely stuffed. You feel like eating more and more and more. The more you eat, the more you suffer afterwards, isn't it? When you overeat. Similarly, all the things in the material world are pleasant in the beginning, later on they turn danger, you see. And the crocodile called graha, that represents the karmic reactions and maya. Our karmic reactions are all sleeping in a dormant stage. When they will attack us, we don't know. Don't get too much frightened. You see, we have good and bad karma both. You will get good karma also sometimes will come. Bad karma will also come sometimes. When what will come when we don't know what is awaiting us. I heard a Puranic story. One fellow wanted to commit suicide. He went to the top of a hill and jumped. But then he blindfolded himself. He blindfolded himself and he jumped. But then it happened to be a river in which he fell. His body fell from the top. At the time there was one Rajakumari taking bath along with her associates. And a big crocodile came to catch her. And all her friends swam back to the bank of the river. And she was the only one left because she was like completely stunned. She could not go. But when this fellow came and fell in the water from the top, the crocodile became afraid. The crocodile went underwater. And then her life was saved and her friends immediately grasped her and pulled her to the bank. And they went and reported to the king. One great hero fell from the top and saved our princess from the crocodile. As soon as the king heard it, bring him here, he said. I don't have any son, I only have a daughter. And he requested the man, you please marry my daughter and accept the kingdom and you rule the kingdom. That way, I also will be able to hand over my responsibility. So this man was wondering, I jumped off from a mountain to commit suicide and here I became a king of a country, king of a place. Along with that, I got a beautiful princess as my wedded wife. What is this miracle? Because you don't know your karma. Sometimes a good karma is pending in your account. Even without much effort, you get it. Suddenly, boom, it comes like that. At the same time, we also have experience. Sometimes you didn't intend to do anything bad to somebody. You intended to do something good to somebody and they yell at you, they become angry with you, they become your enemy and they gather powerful forces and attack you and you are wondering, I only did good for them and people start crying sometimes, they are unable to take it. Why this person is misunderstanding me? Because your karma is not favorable to you. Kala, time is not favorable to you. because there is something in your account which is coming at that time. So when Lord Ramachandra was told to go to forest for 14 years, Lakshmana was very wild. He said, our father is lusty for Kaikeyi, and Kaikeyi is lusty for the post of kingship for her son. Why do you listen to such mother and father who are attached relatives? Hell with them. You should be the king, like the Lakshman said. But then Lord Rama said, no, Lakshman, don't speak like this, ill about the superiors. He said, Mother Kaikeyi loves me more than Bharat also. She has always been like that. And for my father, Dasharath, he loves me more than his life itself. How can such a loving mother and father behave like this? I consider that they are simply play toys in the hands of my destiny. They are not responsible for what they are speaking. My destiny is making them speak like this. Therefore, he blamed the destiny and not the parents. And therefore, he could continue to be respectful to mother and father like that. So in this way, Gajendra did the same thing. When Gajendra was put in the situation, he looked behind his wife and family members were trying to pull him with the tail. They could not save him. Then he didn't blame them. He said, poor fellows, what they can do in this world. And he said, I have done some karma due to which I am suffering now. I can't blame anybody. The moment he thought like this, immediately Lord gave him the intelligence to offer the prayers. Prabhupada writes in one purport, if you don't blame others, if you take responsibility yourself, Lord will give you the intelligence by which you can offer a prayer to him and attract his attention and help. Either he says. So this is one lesson we have to learn. Don't get into ABC mode. ABC mode means accusing, blaming, criticizing. We should not do that. Don't get into BMW mode. BMW means blaming, mourning, wailing. Don't do these things. Instead, get into a mode of accepting responsibility. Then only we can get the Lord's help immediately. Ambuja-hasta, the word is used. Gajendra offered a lotus, I told you. Symbol of complete surrender. This is what we should learn from Gajendra. And then one more last one. āhedam. In deep agony, he cried out to the Lord. The real prayer begins when ego ends and surrender starts. You see? When you give up our false ego and agree to surrender. Sometimes we fight tooth and nail with somebody. We are not ready to give up. Sometimes. That means we don't carry the mercy of the Lord. If somebody has the mercy of the Lord, they will be willing to put aside the false ego and surrender. So Gajendra was naturally proud being a king of the jungle, but at this point of time, understanding his helpless situation, he decided to surrender to the Lord. So, and this is what Gajendra realized. Our strength fails in this world. Therefore, when our physical power is exhausted, then Lord is the only respite. His shelter is the only way, he thought. And at that time, Lord gave him remembrance of the previous life. See here, he recalled the Lord from previous life. Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita also, Tatratam buddhisam yogam labate paurvadehikam yatate cha tato bhuyaha samsiddhau kurunandana purvabhyasena tenaiva griyate hi avashopi saha jignasurapi yogasya shabda brahmati vartate. He says, Tatratam buddhi samyogam labate paurvadehikam. Paurvadehikam from the purvadeha. From the previous life, one remembers the Lord, he says. Yatate, then he endeavors further in spiritual life. If I have done 30% in previous life, I start from 31% now. If I have done 80%, I start from 81% now. And I continue to endeavor now. I make further progress. So the beauty of spiritual life is your spiritual progress is never lost. It will always be preserved. So, Prem Kishapu, I'll take the question and another 5-10 minutes I'll take. Yatate tato bhuya samsito kurunandana. And then purva abhyasena tenaiva, I say. Because of your purva bhakti, which you have done in the previous life, now you feel a magnetic attraction to going towards Krishna now in this life. So he also felt that kind of attraction now to offer the prayer. Now he surrendered, you see. He offered the prayer, not for relief, but to get shelter of the Lord. He told the Lord, if this is what I have to suffer according to karmic reaction, no problem. I am willing to suffer, but I want your shelter. I want to be your devotee. I don't want to be just being morose and morosely lamenting and feeling depression. I want to be in your lotus feet. So this is very important point. Modern day, many youths are feeling depression and moroseness and lamentation without taking shelter of the Lord because they are not pious. So therefore, what we have to do, we have to increase our pious account. How to do that? And go for the Mangala-arti, Narsingh-arti, Tulsi-arti, chanting japa, taking darshan of the deity, taking part in seva, distributing Prabhupada books, going on āhedam singing. These are all activities which increases your bhakti sukriti. And when sukriti is increased more and more and more, your account becomes loaded with lot of sukriti. Then for us to run to the Lord's lotus feet at the time of challenges is very easy for us. Instead of sitting alone and in a dark room and lamenting in depression, we can run to the Lord's lotus feet and seek help. So, on how to take that shelter, that is mentioned here, the power of the holy name. The name itself is the Lord. It's not different from the Lord. What is the proof? The Lord was in Vaikuntha. When he said, Narayana, immediately the Lord appeared in front of him. Draupadi called, Hey Krishna, Hey Govinda, Hey Gopijana Vallabha, Hey Dwarakavasi. When she called, immediately Krishna appeared. Because Lord is appearing at the utterance of the name, therefore we can easily understand that Lord himself is not different from his name. And it was a desperate cry, helpless cry. So the chanting of the holy name should be done desperately, inoffensively, without any duplicity. So nishkapat bhavana, niraparad bhavana, nissahaya bhavana. When these three things are there, it quickly attracts the Lord's attention. It's like a cry of a child for the parents. So even though one's prayer may be incomplete, even incomplete prayer is also heard by the Lord. So divine promise Lord has given. Kaunteya pradijanihi nami bhakta pranashyati. Lord protects his devotees. So, and the name purifies more than pilgrimage. This is a very important point. In one place, Narottama Das Thakur says that going to holy places for pilgrimage, for sightseeing is useless. He says, it is simply mental speculation, he says. What is the meaning of that? Like, in India, many people go for Chardham Yatra, they go. Because they want to go to new places and see what is there. They want to have a change. They will say that I went to this holy place, that holy place. They mostly go for sightseeing and they don't go to the holy places to sit down and hear from a saintly person. So therefore it is a tīrtha buddhi salilena karhichit janeshu abhigyeshu sayeva gokaraha. Bhagavatam says if somebody goes to holy places for sightseeing, like you can go to Jagannath Puri to take a room by the side of the ocean beach and see the beauty of the sea beach and have a bath in the ocean and come back without going to take darshan of Jagannath, without hearing any pastimes of Lord Jagannath there, then such people are considered as a cow or an ass, it says. So I am not saying that, Bhagavatam says that. That verse says that. Sayeva Gokaraha, it says. So one should go to the holy place for associating with saintly persons and hearing the pastimes of the Lord. So, in this way, you find full dependence on the Lord in complete surrender. That attracted Lord to come on the back of Garuda, as you see. It is said in the Madhva Sampradaya, they have explained, the Acharyas have explained how, you see in this picture, right side picture I have shown, Garuda is up there and Lord is coming running, which means Lord told Garuda, your speed is not good enough. So he left Garuda and he started flying ahead of Garuda. And you see, Lord is not wearing any chappal. When he was leaving Vaikuntha, Lakshmi ji told, my dear Lord, wear your sandals. He said, no, there is no time to wear sandals. I have to rush immediately because my devotee is crying. You can see Lord is coming barefoot, he came running. In this way, you can see the speed of the Lord shows his intensity of, his mercy. In this way, Lord, without delay, appeared on the scene. And Lord doesn't appear for those who think I am strong and I am potent, I am great. But those who are surrendered, they attain the divine rescue by the Lord. So here are some modern day situations people face here. If you see, what are our crocodiles? Like there can be health crisis or mental distress or grip of karma. You see, if in the mind we have deep hatred seed for some other living entities, that only comes as cancer and other things on the body. So we have to be very careful. Our mind should be kept very cheerful and joyful in Krishna consciousness. Actually, we should be feeling spiritual emotions and blissfully situate ourselves rather than, maintain revengeful thoughts or hatred or envy for other living entities, because those scripts in the mind, they translate as diseases in the body later. So in modern day situation, there's a lot of competition in the in this world. So there are the crisis situations, health crisis, mental distress, or grip of karma. Our own karma sometimes may be good account or bad account may come. And career pressure and worldly struggles. Yeah, in career there's a lot of competition for progress. I heard when I was in Seattle, one boy working in Microsoft, he was telling me that Microsoft has a policy. The top 10% people are given a promotion and more increment in their salary. The last 10% are laid off regularly, time to time. So people always want to save themselves from being in the last 10% performers in the company. So I was telling. So there is always a competition, for survival in this world. That causes a lot of pressure. Under worldly struggles with the fellow living entities, because some living entities are mischievous, they may trouble us. We get trouble. So, therefore, if we are doing Sankirtana and daily Namajap purifies ourselves. Going out on outdoor Sankirtan, we can show Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's, Nityan Prabhu's mercy to the world outside. And the chanting should not be done in a routine manner or in a stereotyped manner. It should be done with a feeling, as I say, chanting with surrender. Because you find that in the Srimad Bhagavatam, whenever a person was put in a traumatic situation like Ajamila or Gajendra, they called out the Lord's name desperately. Now, on normal days, we don't feel such desperation. So, what to do? Actually, you can create a desperate situation for yourself to call out the holy name fervently by going out on book distribution. Because you will get insulted by some people when you go on book distribution, surely. When you go to preach, somebody will ask you a challenging question or they will ridicule you. So let us be ridiculed, let us be chastised, let somebody insult us, and that will create desperation. Then we will immediately take shelter of Krishna. So we can put ourselves in a desperate situation like that. And that is for preaching purpose. So don't wait. Call before the distress comes. That means we are already doing chanting, which is very good. And let us try to do the chanting with desperately and sincerely, seriously. And then, this is another lesson we learned. When our strength and false ego is given up, then the devotion works very well. And the holy name purifies us more than the pilgrimages. And then reading Bhagavatam, chanting the holy name, these things should be done daily and with feeling. Then we make swift progress. Prabhupada ki. Now I can take question. Prem Kishore Prabhu had one question.
Thank you very
Hare
much,
Krishna Prabhu.
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna.
Hare
Hare Krishna
Prabhu.
Prabhu, my obeisances. Prabhu, so amazing class. I've really enjoyed it very much. One question, you gave examples of
Battery over.
Bhagavan Sri Ramachandra ji,
Yeah,
and he accepted the order of his father without blaming or cursing or accusing anybody.
correct.
Sometimes in the life of a devotee is blamed or accused of something which he or she may not have ever committed. In such circumstances, should a devotee defend himself or leave it up to karmas? Or what are the circumstances under which we can defend ourselves?
Yeah. Actually, uh, when you are in a leadership position, it is important for you to clarify your stand. When Lord Rama was accused by one Dobi, then he took some action. He sent Sita to Valmiki's ashrama. So that, because the Caesar's wife must be above suspicion, it is said. Similarly, Lord Krishna was blamed for Shamantaka jewel that he has stolen it. Satrajit was unnecessarily blaming. So Krishna went to forest and got the Shamantaka jewel from Jambavan and gave it to Satrajit, so that people will not have any doubts about the king. If you are in leadership position, you should be above suspicion. And it's your duty to clarify, surely. And if it is a small matter, somebody is unnecessarily blaming you, somebody knows you are all right, still they blame you just to ridicule you or mock at you, unnecessarily wasting your time, their time, then the dogs bark and the caravan goes on. And you keep doing your thing. There are people who send us mails. They are very harassing people. Same thing they'll over and over, they will say unreasonable people. So you can block their mail. Similarly, some people may make phone calls to you and harass you. You can block their phone numbers also, so that you don't get harassed and threatened by their unnecessary blames, meaningless, useless blames. We don't take it very seriously. And with respect to destiny, when to accept something as a destiny and when to protest against it is also important to know. Arjuna wanted to accept a life of renunciation, but Krishna didn't allow. He said you have to fight the battle. And Dhruva Maharaj wanted to fight the Yakshas, but he was told not to fight by Swayambhava. So therefore we need guidance of the superiors. Which one requires action and which one requires refraining from action. Then we will know the situation appropriately. All right,
Thank you,
Prabhu.
Prabhuji. Thank you so much.
Thank
Thank you
you.
so much. Prabhuji,
Yeah.
one last
There
thing.
is one
Can-
question, Mr. Jackie wants to ask. Can we give
Prabhu,
him a
just
chance?
one last
Okay.
point. Prabhu, can
Okay.
we get your schedule for America so that if possible we can come and see you somewhere?
Yes, Prabhuji, I can put the schedule. Just a minute. I'll put it in the chat. I'll put it just a minute. And also, Gopal, Gopal Pran Prabhu? Gopal Pran Prabhu, he always is in touch with all the people and he he knows the schedule of topics. I am unable to put it in the chat. I don't know why.
Maybe in the WhatsApp group, if you can post, that will be fine later on.
He will send in WhatsApp group. He will send
Yeah,
it, Prabhu.
thank you. Thank you, Prabhu. Hare
Yeah,
Krishna.
thank you. And Jackie Prabhu, please go ahead.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, all glory to Srila Prabhupada.
Jackie Mad, yes. Prabhupada, yeah.
Yes, my question is, I didn't get the gist of the pastime story with the elephant. Could you briefly kind of summarize what happened?
I can tell you. I can tell you briefly. A long story cut short, I can tell you. Actually, there was one great king called Indradyumna, king. And when he retired from his kingship, he went to forest and he was practicing devotional service, living in a cave. One day, while sitting in the cave and doing meditation, one great sage, Agastya, came along with his disciples. But this king was a little inattentive in serving him properly. He was a little careless in guest reception. So the sage became angry, and the sage told him that because you are dull, you become a dull animal. So then the next life, that king went on to become Gajendra, an elephant. And this elephant, because he was a king earlier, now again he became king of the forest now, as an elephant. And because earlier he was a little careless in dealing with Agastya, now here also he became careless when he went for a holiday picnic with all his other elephant friends and everybody. He put his leg in the water carelessly and there was a crocodile in the water who caught his leg very firmly, and because of that he couldn't escape. Relatives could not save him, and it was a traumatic situation. So then he remembered at that time the previous life devotional service. That's the blessing for a devotee. If anyone has done devotional service, that goes with the devotee's birth after birth it goes. If you have done 30%, we start from 31% next life. If somebody has done 90%, you just do the 10% and go back to Godhead. So he remembered all the prayers that he had memorized earlier, and now he recollected those prayers and spoke them, and in this way he became, then he attracted the Lord's attention. Lord came and delivered him from the crocodile and took him back to Godhead. Is that clear now?
Yes, thank you, Prabhu. Thank you, Prabhu.
Thank you. And Paramatma Prabhu, please.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, a quick question here. I was just wondering, because of the criticisms and everything happens, but when a leader is in a position where two people are criticizing themselves, I was wondering, is there any documentation of standards? For example, I'm holding 10 students staying at one place, and there are conflicts going on. There is a leader who is not qualified. So is there any way wherein we can understand? But I want to call you sometime, Prabhu, when you have some time, but I'm just at a very high level, I'm asking.
This we can talk, this one requires some explanation, we will talk separately about it. But there is one important question in the chat, which is about that there is one devotee who is chanting 16 rounds and says that after chanting 16 rounds for 2 years, he says that he is following one guru in Vrindavan and is chanting Radha mantra now. It's a very serious matter it is. This is about Premananda Maharaj. There is one Premananda Maharaj in Vrindavan. Many people are following now. He's a very big this thing. I can send a couple of his videos to the Bhaktavali group through Gopal Prabhu will tell him to send. Actually, I also used to think he is a Vaishnava, but then later on we found he is worshipping many Mayavadi gurus also is worshipping. And he spoke about Asharam Bapu, one who is arrested by the government and put in the jail for 20 years. There is one man, Asharam Bapu, because of minor girl was molested by him. And this personality, Premananda Maharaj, is glorifying him. He is saying that, he is the same Rama, he is the same Krishna, like that he is saying. He is calling him as avatar kind of thing. So we should know that these kind of gurus who are not in proper parampara, who are not properly situated, some of our ISKCON devotees are getting cheated because in India is a place of lot of gurus. So if you want to protect them, you keep these 2 video links with you, which I am going to give to Gopal Prabhu. And then anybody has a doubt, you send them and they will know it for themselves. You don't have to tell anything. You just ask them to see the video. That's all. Now, it's getting a bit late. Jackie, Mataji, you want to say something? Old now? Both are over? Okay. Parikshit Prabhu, thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you very much, Prabhu. Very, very nice class. So many analogies that we can actually use in our daily lives. Very practical and also very deep as far as the Shastra is concerned. Are there any final comments or questions or takeaways? If not, then thank you very much, Radheshyam Prabhu, for a very, very wonderful class. Hopefully we'll get more association.
And it was this is on Gajendra and our Shripad Shankaracharya said that early morning one should think this particular scene in the mind. As soon as you get up from the bed, the first thing in the morning we should think is Gajendra is in trouble, caught by the crocodile, calling out, crying, weeping tears, and Lord Vishnu is coming from the sky in a Garuda. Anyone who meditates on this regularly every morning, they will go back to Vaikuntha, like that he says.
Wonderful.
So this is a very, in that sense, it's a very beautiful pastime. So thank you.
Thank you
Amazing
very
class,
much.
Prabhu. Thank you so much. Wonderful class.
Jai.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhu.
Thank you so much, Prabhu.
Thank you. And thanks to Anasuya Mataji also.
Hare Krishna.
Vanchakapacharubhischa kripasindhubhya patitanam pavanebhyo Vaishnavabhyo. Prabhupada ki jai.
Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Glory to the Prabhupada.